high levels can be achieved by all learners if they're given access to well-designed instruction and motivation for enough practice opportunities. So the first thing that goes wrong is you don't value what you're doing. I'm an engineer in a writing course. I mean, I know this never happens at MIT, but I'm just saying, okay? Where the engineer is thinking, what is the point? I'm an engineer. Why do I need to do all this flowery phrasing and all this? This is just, can't I just think about integration by parts like I'd really love to do, right? It's like, okay, how do you connect, right? Well, you got to make clear to this engineer why writing well is going to change their lives, their careers, allow them to, compete for capital or whatever it is. And, let them use their engineering expertise. So they write about things they love rather than, well, I won't say what they might not love because that would insult both engineers and English faculty, so I won't. But, get them engaged in things that they want to write about. And yes, this is where, is it fun? That helps. That's a reason to get involved. So this is where the liking part can come in. But it doesn't have to be the only thing at all. Second problem, self-efficacy. I can't do this. Another engineer, same English course, I'm not a good writer. I've never been a good writer. It's just, that's not my strength. I'm no good at it. So I don't start, I don't persist, I don't put in mental effort. Well, that's different. So if you bustle over and explain how you'll never become a venture capitalist, nobody will ever fund any of your ideas, you're just making me miserable. That's not the reason why I'm not starting, persisting, putting in mental effort. What you need to do is show that, hey, you've done things like this before. You've gone up learning curves before. Here's what the kinds of things in your world you've done. This is not different. We just need to back up, get started, do the deliberate practice, keep going from there, and even share stories. Other engineers, there's lots of engineers who've become great writers and have benefited hugely from that. Get stories of those people who share the same engineering sense and goals and how they made their changes and transitions, right? So different problem, different treatment. A third thing that goes on is you blame something else in your environment. I can't understand this textbook. My professor hates me. And a popular problem of all professionals is, I don't have time. Oh, it's valuable. Oh, I can do it. I just don't have time, right? So what do you do there? That's different yet again. You have to problem solve around that. And you also want to demonstrate to the learner that you can problem solve around each of those things. You don't have space. Let's look at where you work. Let's find space. You don't have time. Let's look at your calendar. Let's talk with other people. Let's shrink down your courses or whatever it is. Let's make time. You want to model, you can solve this problem. You have control over this. It's not out of your control. And you also want to help actually solve that problem. So that's the third thing that goes wrong. Very different than the first two. And the last one is honestly the hardest of all. Negative emotional states, especially COVID. If you are angry, depressed, scared, grieving, so many deaths, it's really hard to start, persist, and put in mental effort into a tough learning challenge. It's just really hard. And what's the solution? Well, it's pretty hard. It's as hard as you think it is, right? Some people, a simple conversation about some problem at home, you can get things going again. But it may go all the way to the need for actual professional resources to be helpful, depending on what the circumstances are, right? But it's a completely different problem than the first three. So you need to be able to diagnose these. More than one of these may be wrong at once, and then the interventions are different for each of them. So this comes out of the research side.